Hey guys, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on the post notifications. Okay, I'm gonna give you I'm gonna count backwards from 10, so to kind of challenge you. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, did you subscribe? Did you turn on post notifications? I gave you a little extra time. So hopefully you did. If you didn't, don't worry, you can go ahead and do it and no one will know that you can do it in the time. So yeah, we're gonna do kind of a fun little warm-up stretch. Maybe a few other fun little things. First I'm gonna close the bag because I like this bag. This is a nice bag. I like that I can just kind of tote it, and it's great because then I can roll this up. Okay. Let me actually roll it up. Just because I want to roll it. And my parents are kind of near, so. But then I can roll it out and put it inside the bag. I am going to show you, or at then it just but which is great for Monday when I actually go in. I am going to be showing you and telling you beginner or stuff that you can do without the kind of something similar, but without the stretching band. We're going to start with a little something extra. Then we're going to do a warm-up, and then we're going to do a stretch. And then we'll just kind of see where the video takes us. You know, I actually only love the stretching band because I got a few fun little stories and things to tell you. Okay, my parents aren't near anymore. But yeah, a lot kind of going on today. I texted my niece, which was good. You know, we had a little bit of a nice little conversation, and about how right now I got a lot going on. Dance-wise, I'm doing really good, and something really big dance-wise, and for me in general, something really big is going to be happening soon, which is that I am going to be doing pointe for the first time. And so for those who aren't dancers, they know nothing about dance. There's two different types of shoes for ballet. There's ballet slippers, which are fun and kind of easy, and then there's pointe shoes. Pointe shoes are more advanced. They're actually really challenging, and if anyone who sees ballet or knows anything about it, sometimes you'll see that dancers will go on the top of their feet, the top of their toes. Okay, I'm gonna try to demonstrate, but I'm not. And, like, see how my toes, well, I can get the idea. Basically, like, I'm on top. Like, okay, we're gonna pretend this is the ground. This is my toes. This is what I'll be doing. Not this, which is a releve. This. So yeah, it's a big step in dance. Now, I'm going to kind of tell you about something that I kind of did. So yesterday, I had kind of an easier day. Tomorrow's a really long day, and I'm actually, like, not. Like, I'm looking forward to it because I love dance, and, like, dancing is fun. But I don't like the late hours of tomorrow. Just because it's a lot of work and it's go, go, go situation. But, yeah, because tomorrow I start at like 5-ish. And I go for over 5 hours straight, like 5.5 hours. Because I don't end until 10:30. And last week we didn't know this because last week was my first Wednesday and pretty much like it was getting kind of late, like around 9:30ish. Or no, it was like it was like just barely past 9 or something. And my dad got me another water bottle because mine was empty. I was needed more water. And he went like, what time does this end? And I'm like, I don't know. Because at the time I generally didn't know anything about the Gianna Martello schedule. And then pretty much it's late hours and my parents have always been very supportive in the dance area. They like, because it's what I love and like that's not going to stop them. And if it goes really late, they're like, okay. And we just work with it, you know. Oh, but we prefer the days that aren't late hours. But it's last week I definitely started off kind of more like eh. And then because I like last week I think it was just that like I don't really like tap as much as I like other styles. But also the first teacher wasn't very interactive. He was kind of like just going on the people in the studio, like the 5 or 6. I'm pretty sure there were like 6 kids in the studio. And then everyone else was like doing it from like home, obviously, because on Zoom. And that's different because I feel like I work better because at this point, I kind of didn't like it, but I also did because he was definitely giving us steps and making it more advanced and very like good. Like he was definitely giving us steps that we could make really advanced, or there were ways that we could make it not as advanced, or right in the middle. So he was giving it to us right in the middle, and then I, being me, being who I am, was obviously making them more advanced. But you could also make them less advanced if you aren't as advanced, you know? So I love that. But yesterday, and then we ended with Gianna Martello. But yesterday I had like 2 different teachers, Miranda and Tanya. Tanya does ballet and then also sometimes she'll do like kind of like kicks and just fun. She'll do like a little something added on. And she's had a great career, and that's really awesome. But yesterday, Abby had talked about this in the past a couple of times, and even Tanya talked about this, how it's best when you learn from other dancers, or so like watching someone else and learning from them. And like Tanya said, and that like what she did was at one point she would do something and she picked someone that she thought was the best in the class, and every day or every time they had ballet, she would stand behind them at the bar, so she could work on herself, and it was challenging for her. Now, Abby's way is a lot easier because I feel like with Abby's way, and it's easier in the sense you get more excitement because Abby's way is pick someone that's slightly better than you. Not a ton amount better than, but slightly better than you. You watch them, learn from them. And that way I actually like it more because then you can watch and learn from them. And then eventually you'll get to their level or past it. And then you can pick someone new. You know, I personally chose this one really nice girl. From what it seemed, she seemed nice. But yeah, I'm going to talk to you about something real quick, which is I got really nervous at one point. Yesterday, well, this wasn't yesterday, but I did want to explain something about it. Yesterday, I never been like crazy into ballet, you know. I always went more towards the hip hop, sassy jazz, like more of like the sassy jazz, hip hop, sort of contemporary era, since there's lots of performing, and then like anything with a lot of emotion or technique has always kind of been an area that like I don't like as much. But now I really like ballet because a lot more than what I used to. I feel like I'm always gonna go towards the performing element, and I think one day I will hopefully like live my dreams of like going on tour and that sort of stuff. But I think I'm gonna incorporate more like technique and stuff into my dancing too, because I personally love that. And I fell in love with ballet, and going on pointe is a big step in the dancer career, and it's really challenging. Luckily, my dance teacher Tanya approved of me going on pointe, and yeah, because I want to run it by her first. Like, even though we already ordered the pointe shoes, I wanted like to approve it by her if I was gonna be allowed to, and because she is the ballet teacher, you know, like that sort of stuff is up to her. If I'm not ready and she doesn't think I am, I'm not going to. And she said, and that at this point, technique-wise, I know what I'm doing, and I'm actually really, really good at it. I'm pretty much, technique-wise, I'm somewhere. I naturally have technique, and that's a really big part of dance, you know, with technique. And so that was really exciting, and she said that she can't wait to see me on pointe next Monday, because they should be here Thursday, and then I'm going to make a video where pretty much before I actually try them on or anything, I do gotta pass them off to my mom, because she is gonna be sewing the elastic and the laces on, because my mom does a lot of sewing because she likes to sew and that sort of. She actually did teach me how to sew, so like if I absolutely had to, I could, but I don't like to that much. But I'm gonna talk about last week. Cause last week we did a jumps and turns class like last Wednesday, and like a bunch of stuff. Like I really got nervous. Like, or no, I wouldn't say that I got nervous last Wednesday. I got up in my head because I was getting mad at myself, and I really felt bad because like it's not good when you're getting mad at yourself. It's never a good thing, because the more that you focus on the mistakes, which don't worry, in like 4 minutes, once I finish explaining this, we're gonna get to a warm up and stretch. It's gonna be a very quick warm up and kind of a quick stretch, but it's gonna be good. And I really, I feel like I learned this and I didn't know this before. The more you focus on the flaws and the mistakes, and yes, focus on, but the more you get mad at yourself, because like I was making mistakes that I am level past doing. Like I think it was mistakes that like people who just started dance would be making. And and by that I mean I was falling out of my turns. And I wasn't feeling my jump for getting high enough. And I feel like that I was really hard on myself and really getting up in my head. I've never been the one to need to put something as a spotting thing. Like, I always been the one that I can just pick something in the room and use that to spot my turns with. I never been the one that needed to actually put something specifically for spotting. And I will be choosing a picture behind it real quick to talk about. Okay. I think we're gonna do, we got options. We're gonna do this one, which is Jellyana, and we're gonna do this one, which is also Jellyana, because I ship them a lot. And we're gonna do 2 over there. I'm gonna do the like pinks and purple and blue like Abbey Lee Dance Company logo. And then we are gonna do, we got one that said, that I made, that said, I like to work, or I don't like it easy. I like to work, I don't like it easy. Because that's true. Never been the one to like things that are dreams of mine to just be handed to me for, and I like to really work for things. And I never wanted a dance teacher to tell me, oh, you're one of my favorites, and just hand it to me. I always want it to be because I worked hard. And so that's something that's really big for me. So yeah, I like to work hard when it comes to my dreams. But pretty much back to the story. I was really up in my head, and finally I feel like I'm kind of just was that way that night. And so I like took a sip of water, like hydration, and kind of told myself, you're good enough to be here. You're probably better than some dancers out there. They're not trying to offend anyone because you're one of the ones that actually works hard. You aren't one of them that does it because someone else wants you to do it. You're doing it for you. And that's my thing. What I look for with the dancer is the person who has all the technique. Let's say the one person with all the technique, they have everything a dancer needs. And then there's this other person that has a lot of things to work on. But the one who has a lot of things to work on is dancing for them. And they're working hard to be a better dancer. They're not dancing for someone else. Versus the person who has everything to be a dancer is doing it for someone else, not to make themselves happy. The one that needs all the work is 1,000 times better than the one who's doing it for someone else. And that's how I look at it. Okay, we're going to kind of do a warm-up, but first let me finish that plan. So then, yeah, I was really up in my head, and so I just kind of pet talked myself a little, enjoyed some water, and the rest of that night, I feel like I was really up in my head still, and nothing really stopped me, if that makes sense. And there wasn't I suddenly stopped. I was just always this way. But then, and the next day, Friday, something kind of happened. I was straight up nervous. Because, I was nervous. And here's why. So I thought I had class with Gianna Martello. I did, but I missed it. And basically let me explain why. Because they don't give you, on the schedule, it's not listed anywhere. But you see on Abby's Instagram story and Gianna Martello's Instagram story. Can't wait to see you all on Friday. Or it talks about there being on Friday. And I know part of the worldwide. Because whenever they talk about it, when you swipe up, it says it takes you to the worldwide. So yeah, that situation. And what happened was that I was really up in my head. It got really bad. And what happened was that, so I took this acro class with Abby, and so, her assistant starts the Zoom meeting, and she's all of a sudden she's Abby will be on here in 5 or 10 minutes, and I'm okay. And then I muted myself, and I'm freaking out, crazy nervous, because I have it worse than most people, and that's the thing that people don't always see. I'm an Abby favorite, and that comes with a lot of work. And so I was freaking out. And so I drank some water, took a couple of sips of water, stay hydrated, and I really just started letting go. And once I let go, and Abby, I feel like Abby actually was the one that got me not nervous anymore, because she was, and nice job she was talking about me. I'm not saying it because the username is my dad's name. And then I at the end, kind of we talked for a second, and she went you're doing really good, and I'm well, you did make me an Abby favor a few weeks ago. I don't know if you remember. And she's like, oh yeah, I remember. And she just kind of told me if I keep working, and like I am, I don't have to worry about not being an Abby favorite anymore. Warm up time. We're starting with what, 10 jumping jacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Now we're going to do a deep lunge on the right. So what you do is you actually lunge. You can, when you go down, and then sit back. Okay. Now you repeat, and when I go down, my arms are touching the ground. If you can't do that, it's fine. Okay. Now I'm going to pull out the stretching band. Well, first I'm going to work on balance. Wait, let me remove one down one. Just so it's a little more stable for my tilt. And then we're going to put the other one on top. And we're just going to stand. And then we're going to scoot my foot over. Put both feet on. And then we're going down. Now, stretch. So I'm gonna actually figure. Okay. Okay, we're gonna do eat. So I'm gonna lay on my stomach. So you're gonna actually do it on this side. I think we're gonna do around like the second. We're gonna try this. Okay, we're doing the very last one. you can actually do that with your hands. So I'm going to do one more involving the band, which is split. This one I really enjoy. And for it, you can push yourself up against a wall, but I'm gonna quickly do this, and then I'm gonna end the video. That's nice. I like that I don't have to do anything. You can push yourself up against the wall, or go watch my splits video, and it will do kind of the same thing. I actually quit working on my splits for a long time, and that was due to other things. Peace.